GapBuster started as an educational, and it still is an educational program. It's an educational program, and we started, like I said, back in 1999, actually working with low income and students who were not considered academically prepared. And so I feel that all young people are gifted. So we started working with young people and actually in second and third grade and teaching them foundational math skills because math is also the key. I tell people math is a gatekeeper to higher education. And so really building that foundation because since I'm, from the science arena and actually I was very strong in the math and realized that you do reading, writing, all those things in math. So that's where GapBuster actually started. I was volunteering. I started volunteering as um, in the classroom. Then I started a volunteer program of just volunteer parents as well as volunteer students in the different magnet programs to work with younger individuals in second and third grade and really allowing them and preparing them with the foundational skills in math. And so that is actually how GapBuster started. Now, over the years, we have started looking and we had to change and we start looking at three different areas. So GapBuster wasn't really supposed to be this program that it is now. I was just volunteering while I was still working to actually do this. And so in 2001, we actually incorporated the organization as a nonprofit and we started applying for grants and various other resources to really hire teachers now to come in with their skills and knowledge to help with the foundational skill of these young people. And what we realized, I started looking at it deeper and saying, we actually have to address three areas that our young people don't have. And there are three areas we start looking at: academics, ensuring that they were strong academically, also technologically, and providing those technological skills. And the third one was exposure. Our young people don't have opportunity of exposure to various things. It's just as far as museums, they're here, but they don't go. The travel exposure, seeing other continents and other people and learning about things beyond what we call our borders or beyond our family circles, our areas that we live in. So those three areas and those three areas were gaps in our communities. And so now GapBuster actually addresses those three areas. We address the academic, the technological, and exposure. When we say exposure, we take the kids out of the country. And so it's not just within their circles and their towns, but we travel with kids all across the United States. We take them to the West Indies, and we definitely bring them to the continent of Africa. For example, our needs assessment that we did within Koforidua, we went into the school and we met with the headmaster as well as the teachers and found out what were some of the academic needs that they need in school immediately. What are some of the things and resources they needed? So, for example, they needed books, they needed pencils, they needed various different manipulatives in the classrooms. So we actually came back and put a list together and got all those things that they needed. Then we looked at the infrastructure where the school had no electricity. So we actually had to bring in electricity and light into all the classrooms, as well as putting fans in, because it's hot in Ghana. So we put fans in all the classrooms as well. We did not put air conditionings because that's a little bit more costly because and the way the rooms are set up, they have these open windows, open areas where air flows freely through. So we did put screens up to prevent some of the dust and mosquitoes from always coming in when we as Americans come in, because we're always worried about mosquitoes and malaria. So we actually we went through and put screens in the classrooms and so to be, and to reduce the dust because it was dusty there. And then what another thing we did, we now cover the entire courtyard, working with another organization and with my family who donated funds for the project. We actually covered the courtyard with bricks. We paved it. We put pavers in for the courtyard. So that needs assessment is really important to find out what they need, running water, some of those things. So we had to bring those into the school so that they would have the access and the available needs so that we can do a STEM project.
GapBuster has helped us in many ways. Through GapBuster, we have established library, ICT lab, and cafeteria. Even some of our class are tiled. We have new chairs, tables, and cupboards to keep our books.
During the coronavirus, we were having some classes. The GapBuster brought some of the teachers, the lecturers from the All Nation and also from the Ghana Senior High School to teach us, to let us do some practical works so that we will improve on our education. After my exposure of GapBuster, I want to be a doctor in future because GapBuster has let me pass through a lot of practical works about science, and that has helped me very, very much. Lastly, I want to thank Mr. and Mrs. Batlayebua for giving me the opportunity to be part of the GapBuster program.
We're trying to build our own e-line in this school so that we can have a direct source of internet on our own. And so when the weather acts up, we still have a direct dedicated line that is going to keep the school connected to internet. We're also looking to expand this into the Ghana Secondary School, into GANAF, as you guys call it, and doing a triangular setup where there's a dedicated, and we call them T lines here, but you guys call them E lines, and we have our own internet provider, own, I said line, so that we can have our own internet provider or provide internet to the school without interruption. And one of the things that we're going to do with that when we talk about sustainability, we're going to hopefully have that. Well, then we can provide services to the community. So if we do a triangular setup where it's going from the middle school or the JHS of the primary and JHS over to the senior high school, and then back over to the municipalities there, and doing a triangle so everyone will have a constant dedicated line where we can have communication locally and internationally, internet wise. And some of the that in sustainability will provide, we can sell those resources. And then with the building of the cafeteria, which is also be used as the multi-purpose center, the sustainability of these projects has to be where we have constant income coming in. So they can utilize the building for various other events and rent it out. So those funds will come back into the school so they can keep the building up as well as now pay for other services that the school might need. So that is one of the sustainability what we're looking at. As in addition to that, we're looking at creating a private school in Accra. So a private school in Accra that we, of course, if it's private, it can be a paying school. So taking those funds to then go back into other areas so that we can expand the program into public schools where this the free resources for the students in Ghana and in those specialized areas.
I want to start from introduction of STEAM into our school, which happens not to be in the educational curriculum of Ghana. They introduced STEAM, that is science, technology, English, art, and mathematics into our school system. For the first time, they introduced electives into the basic school, and my school happens to be the first in Ghana. talking about the basic level. That is 3D printing, vex robotic, and then remote control panel. They also extended our instructional hours. That is, after we close 2 o'clock, they give us snack, they feed us so that we continue teaching. Teaching and learning continues, and we close 5:35. This meal that they've been giving to us motivate both parents and then students. So this increased our enrollment drive. They also provided a lot of instructional material to the school, like teaching learning materials and other things that will aid teaching and learning in the school.
Success stories, we've had a lot of success stories. And I just want to just one of the success stories. We started the program in 2018, the end of 2018. And then we actually kicked off and then came in and brought our team in professional development. So in January 2019, we actually kicked off the program in the classrooms. We partnered with All Nations University, as well as we worked with the secondary school of senior high school, the staff in there. So what we did, we brought teachers in from the high school, the senior high school, to work with the junior high school teachers to help them be exposed to what they're going to see in senior high school. And then and that was for the JHS 3. And for the JHS 1 and 2, we had the JHS 3 teachers teaching the JHS 1 and 2 students of what they're going to be seeing when they get to JHS 3. And then for the JHS, for the primary six, we had JHS teachers teaching the primary six school students. And that actually allowed those students to preview what they're going to see in the upcoming years and prepare them to to be ready to move on to that next grade. And we used our all nations staff. We interacted with their professors there, and they actually helped with the students STEM. They did all the STEM programming. So they taught the students the remote control, car intervention, and how to do programming. They also uh, helped them learn how to utilize a 3D printer. They also did the VEX robotics. So they brought a lot of the STEM activities and worked with the students for the STEM activities. So we have we had to do a comprehensive program where we not only utilized the staff at the school, but we had to look at the secondary or senior high school, as well as those college professors at a STEM college like All Nations to come back and help really provide those necessary skills for the students.
I got this opportunity in GapBuster, which they tried to help me out in my schooling and also take me to wherever I want to go. And they brought this program called 3D printing, vet robotics, and then remote control. So we were grouped into groups after school, which we stay in from 4 to 6. They give us food and all that. So I was in the 3D printing, and it was time for us to make a design out of the printer, and I brought out the idea that we should print out toothbrush holder and brush dispenser, paste dispenser. So we did that, and to be surprised, we sent that to a challenge and we won. And the brush holder and the toothpaste dispenser is purposely to save our brush from microorganisms that we cannot see with our eyes. And when I brought this idea, they did not turn me down. They helped me, and I was able to build upon it. And now, so I thank GapBuster very well for giving me the opportunity to learn or acquire some skills through 3D printing. Without them, I don't know about 3D printing, and I couldn't even be able to print out things from that. But through them, I was able to do it.
Kofa Whittier School, they won the regional science competition in 2019. And that was the first time ever the school had won this. And I was really excited. And the problem that they actually identified was a problem with toothbrushes getting dirty and toothpaste not, not being able to get all the toothpaste out of the toothpaste container. And they solved it. So those are some of the success. That's one of the success stories. And there's many, many more success stories, many, many more. And because these young people are just so creative.
My friend introduced me into the GapBuster program, that's the Learning Center. And what we did is to help them with the STEM, which is the science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics. So they called upon us for an assistance, and we are 4 in number, we came on board to help the program to, progress. Actually, in Ghana, we are doing theory, okay? So what we want is for the students to have the practical field, to have the engineering field, the technology, because we are in a technological world. So we are helping the children as they are growing up or they are learning, they can add this technology to it, in which will help them in the future.
As for me, I wanted to be an engineer, so I started with technology. The GapBuster team helped us with a practical work, which always goes on after school, 2 hours before we all leave home. Some of us were very social because some of our colleagues also wanted to be doctors, teachers, and other things. So we all were happy for GapBuster team to help us.
GapBuster has been introduced in secondary schools like Ghana Secondary School or Ghana Senior High, and then Pope John Senior High and Junior Seminary. Now, because of the partnership, any of our students who goes to Ghana's or Pope John is being sponsored or is being given scholarship. So they are being given laptops and they are being given some amount of money to buy books. GapBuster also has a partnership with All Nations University. And so from Ghana, if you would want to pursue your course in All Nations, you are being given a quota of what you are supposed to pay. So that's some of the benefits of GapBuster.
My hope is to, descend not only in one school, but to the rest of the schools in Ghana, not even in Koforidua, but also to the rest of the regions, so that they can have a practical feel of how this initiative is, so that the students can even learn more, although without even the theory, but with the practical hands, like mine with the 3D, with the robotics, with everything, so that whilst they are learning the books, they can also have the practical feel of it and know how the things go.
All these things and more other that are in the pipeline they are doing for us, I would want to say a big aiko to them, because they have really elevated this school. And this school happened to be one of the top schools in Efijasi, let alone Koforidua municipality. And I hope that a time will come, this school will turn into a modern school, and every parent will like his or her ward to be in this school. I want to seize this opportunity to say a big thank you to Dr. Yvette Batlayibua and her team for the tremendous work they have done in our school. In fact, we have benefited from them a lot.
Future works, expansion, and to other areas, opening a private school to be our basis of regaining further funding to expand our program. And I'm just excited of being able to be, to be able to be here to do some of the things I'm doing on the continent. And I'm hoping that the students are enjoying it, because I'm just enjoying what I do, because I tell people, find your passion and live by it. And my passion literally is working with younger individuals and imparting any knowledge that I have and into them, and allowing them the opportunity to just realize the sky is the limit, and it's yours to capitalize on, and it's yours to take.